Hey, this is Tim, licensed loan officer. And on this video, we're going to talk about the real reasons why people buy homes. Thank you so much for watching and welcome to my channel. And like I said, on this video, we're going to talk about the real reasons why people buy homes. And the reason I'm making this video is a lot of talk about the interest rates, the crash, this and that. And I think that we're forgetting the reason why people actually buy homes. So I wanted to make this video, and it should be a fun video to watch. So let's buckle up and let's get into it. All right, let's go. So the real reason why people buy homes. And I wanted to give you my top reasons. So these are some things that just came across my head. And some of the things that came across my head is that a bad roommate. So a lot of times people live with someone, and after a while, you just get under each other's skin, and now it's time to get your own place. Also, I see this a lot is that the roommate moving out. A lot of times one of the roommates get married or get in a relationship or take a new job and they move out. So what happens is now you're just stuck all by yourself. You decide, hey, it's time to buy. Another one is that they're tired of the landlord or property management companies.
Yes.
As you know, property management companies or landlords are not the easiest to deal with. So that's a reason. And these are my top reasons of people I actually talk to in the real world, because I'm a loan officer and I talk to people every day about buying a home. Now, some more of my top reasons is rising rent. So rising rent right here is that this is my personal reason. I rented for 8 or 9 years and I got tired of rent going up. Every year they just going to raise rent. And also I talk to other people that are paying outrageous amounts in rent and they're tired of paying that rent, tired of it going up. So they buy a home. Now, this one says wants to build equity and wealth. That's a good one, but that wasn't my number one reason. My number one reason was I got tired of that rent going up, but then later on I found out that you can build equity and wealth. I think this is a secondary reason, because normally there's your main problem, your main concern to buy, and then the second thing, like a cherry on top, will be equity and wealth. Also, live in a particular neighborhood. Now, I know some people that just have to live in this neighborhood because of the sewer district and things like that, or close to work. So those are my top reasons. And a couple more I thought of that I've talked to people about, in that they want a backyard for their dog. Their family is expanding. I hear that a lot. Like, hey, we just had a baby and now we need 4 bedrooms. Also, I run into this a lot of downsizing. So a lot of my older clients will say, hey, this home is just too much to maintain. I don't like the stairs, and they want to downsize. So those are my top reasons. And now I thought it would be fun to just throw this into ChatGPT and see what ChatGPT has to say. Everyone's talking about AI, artificial technologies. Let's hear what it says. So the number one reason that ChatGPT said is to build equity. Now, I disagree with that. I don't think the number one reason to build equity. I just don't think that people say, I feel like building equity today. I'm going to buy a home. Most of the time, there's a problem. The problem would be your roommate moved out, or your landlord just increased your rent, or your landlord ain't fixing things. There's usually a problem. Or you just got to drive across town. Now you're driving 45 an hour to work. So I think equity will be like a secondary. No one ever came to me and said, Tim, I just have to buy a home because I need to build some equity. To have a second one that ChatGPT said is to have a stable place to live. Now, I agree with this one. It's more stable to own a home. So some people say, yeah, I just want to buy a home. Well, I don't have to worry about signing a lease every year. But I haven't heard that one, but I more agree with this one. This one is actually the same one as the first one almost. To have more control over your living environment. You do have more control over your buying a home. And this one is to build a community. Now, I've heard this one a few times where somebody wanted to buy like a 2-family home and rent out the other one. Kind of have like a community where they get along with both of them. I hear this one a little bit too, like a secondary one, is to leave a legacy for your child. And I've heard this a few times. I want to buy a home and have a home in the family. Having a home in the family is a major benefit because normally that second generation, like your kids, they don't have to pay rent because that home will usually be paid off in your lifetime. And I've met a lot of people that say, I live in a home. My mom owned it. They live there rent free. And that's a way to actually build some wealth. Because think about it, if your kids don't have to pay rent and they can save that money and start their business or use that money for other reasons, it is a great way to transfer wealth. Let's see what some more ChatGPT has to say. To be closer to friends and family, I agree with that. People move to be closer to friends and family or work. To live in a better school district, education is very important for your kids. Have a large yard. Yes, there's so many benefits to having a large yard. You can put your patio set, barbecue, smoke out there, play sports, have the kids run around, put a pool, friends and family. A lot of benefits to having a big yard. You do have to cut the grass, though. Downsides after retirement, yep. Sometimes having a big home, which is nice because you can sell that home, get some money, and use it for a smaller home. Also to invest in real estate, yep. So some people do buy homes to invest because they realize that buying a home is also an investment. So when they go to sell, they can walk away with a check, yep. Now, these are my reasons why people do not buy homes, okay? My top reasons why people do not buy homes. And I think the first one is to get a low interest rate. Now, if you watch a lot of these YouTube channels or the news, it's rate. And they just keep talking about the rate. People do not buy a home to get a low interest rate. A low interest rate is a feature. It's a benefit. When I bought my home, the rate was 4.5. COVID hit, my rate's like 3.125. But I did not buy the home because the rates were at 4%. I bought a home because they're raising rent prices. So, people acting like, with this market that it's all financial. Now, I do get it that a lower rate does make the payment lower. It does make it more affordability. But ideally, can you afford the mortgage payment? If you can afford the mortgage payment with the current interest rate, buy a home. Don't sit here and wait for a crash. Don't sit here and wait for some good news on CNN. Buy the home. Buy the home, refinance later, okay? It's a good choice because you're going to end up paying more. Homes go up in value. They're investments. So the longer you wait, the longer you kick this down the curve, the more you're going to pay, okay? People usually do not buy homes to save money. Now, you do save money buying a home, but not initially. The way you save money buying a home is because you're locked in at that payment with a fixed rate and a fixed payment when rent keeps going up. So you do save money, but people don't just say, I'm going to buy a home to save some money. Generally speaking, your mortgage payment will be a little bit higher than renting. I think renting is a little bit cheaper, but in the long run, buying is a way better choice. To make money, okay? People do not buy homes to make money. They buy homes generally for somewhere to live, a place to call their own. Another reason I think people do not buy homes is because of the news, and it's a buyer's market. But a lot of people do watch the news, but people do not buy homes just because the news says it's okay. But if you watch the news or you talk to friends and family, everyone's going to say it's a bad time to buy. But it's actually a good time to buy. It's always a good time to buy. That's like saying it's a bad time to invest your money. Home is an investment. It's always a good time to buy or invest, okay? Now, let's find out what ChatGPT says for reasons why people do not buy. So ChatGPT said financial constraints. Now, I kind of agree with that because people do not buy sometimes if their finances are not in order. You do need income, credit, assets to buy a home. Now it says debt to income ratio. Now these are more like qualifying. But yes, sometimes your debt to income is too high to qualify for a home. Then it said credit score. I do agree with that. Now, if you have bad credit, yeah, you can't buy a home. Job insecurity, I agree with that. Sometimes if you have shaky employment, it's not good to buy a home and have that commitment. So I agree with that with ChatGPT, okay? It says lack of knowledge. So I don't agree with this one. People do not buy a home because lack of knowledge. I mean, you have your smartphone, okay? Let's look at another reason. Now, this is a typo up here, by the way. These are top reasons why people do not buy a home by ChatGPT. They're not ready to settle down. I agree with that one, yep. They want to be able to move easily for their job. I agree with that one, yep. If you have a job that may have to move, It's not the best job, not the best thing to do with buy a home because it's going to be a process to sell that home. Okay. They do not want to deal with the maintenance and repairs that come with home ownership. Now, I agree with this one all the way. I've talked to people and they do not want to buy because they don't want that commitment of maintenance. But it's not that much maintenance, honestly. If you buy a home in pretty good shape, it's not that much maintenance. But I know some people that do not want that responsibility. Buying a home does come with some responsibility of maintenance. No. All right, and two more reasons for ChatGPT why people do not buy homes. They're concerned about the housing market. Now, I agree with that one. Everyone thinks it's going to be a crash. I hear that a lot. And I tell people there's not going to be a crash. It's not going to be like 2008. If anything, it's going to be like more competitive when rates go down. Everyone wants to buy, but they're kind of afraid right now. And the last one here, they are simply not interested in owning a home. Now, I disagree with that one. Everybody kind of wants to buy a home, or at least know. So buying a home is almost like losing weight. Everyone knows that they probably should eat a little bit healthy or lose a weight, but they don't do it. So I don't think people are just not interested in buying a home. I just think that maybe they're afraid, or they want to see what happens, or they want maybe the rates to go down. But remember, if you can afford the payment with these current rates, go ahead and buy a home. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video and found it very informative. Now, if you have questions, concerns, comment below. I love to hear from you and I will respond to you. And remember, this channel is all about first-time home buyers, investment properties, credit, budgeting, and to help you level up. If you like those kind of topics, consider subscribing to this channel. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again on the next video. Thanks.
Buddha.